In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to another exciting episode of Buddy Talks. How's everyone doing today? Again, we have another fantastic guest. You might know him from some toys and some shopping malls. Today we have Mike. How's it going, Mike?
Doing well, Marvin. Thank you. Thank you.
Whoa, radio DJ voice.
Sorry, it just kind of came out.
Switch it up. That's what she said. Hey.
Hey.
But before we get started into what we're talking about, I'd like to thank you all for coming back for another exciting episode. This is episode 10. We're going to talk about some media consumption. But before we get to that, some housekeeping. If you can go ahead and give us a 5-star rating and written text review, it would be fantastic because that allows us to spread the lovely message and give digital hugs to everybody.
Love those digital hugs.
Digital hugs are just so warm and cuddly.
They're just hugs of ones and zeros. They're awesome.
I love it. And it's just something about them. There's just something about the digital hug that I love.
It's just so digital.
Yes.
And huggy.
But I'm getting this segment going. You know what time it is. Where's your head at, Mike? How you doing this week?
Oh, I'm doing great this week. I'm channeling my inner ho with the holidays coming up.
Yeah. What have you done so far?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, so channeling. Okay. I think I've done something similar.
So I know where the Christmas lights are. I know where the tree is. I know where it's supposed to go, but there's some prerequisites.
Oh, gotcha. So there's a couple of lists you have to check first.
Yeah.
Or a couple items.
Move all the crap out of the way where the Christmas tree goes. Or Festivus bush or whatever.
Whatever.
You know, yeah.
Whatever tickles your fancy, holiday-wise.
I mean, of course, I figured. See, I look at it this way. I'll get some turkey on the way, but, you know, I went past a house yesterday that they were all decorated up.
Already?
Already.
Wow.
Yeah. Out there on Bayshore. It was crazy.
Wow. I think I was at Walmart yesterday, and I heard my first Christmas music.
Oh, what was the song?
I think it was just Jingle Bells.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, the Burl Ives version?
No. Just the basic, normal Jingle Bells.
All right.
But I'm getting really excited for it, but I'll get into that later. I'll probably on another episode.
Yeah, probably another episode. Yeah, I feel another episode. Yeah.
Yeah, already the wheels are turning. For me, actually, this week has been pretty all right for me as well. Work's going well. I should be getting my yearly increase soon, whatever that may be. I'll find out eventually.
Better up than down.
Oh, that's always true. Better up than unemployed.
Oh, that's right. No one likes that promotion.
No.
Hello, Mr. Smith. You're getting promoted to unemployed.
Yeah, that's a terrible promotion. But yeah, I think I'm actually doing pretty well also. It's starting to cool off the rest of the country is dealing with snow overnight. We're like, oh man, today's high is 59 degrees. No, I'm sorry, 61 degrees.
It's a Florida winter.
Florida winter. So it's what everyone like summer is.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, I'm actually doing well. Podcasting seems to be doing well. It's going over well with a lot of people. So yeah, I'm having a blast. But speaking of having a blast, there's a lot of stuff that came out recently on home video. And you actually gave me this idea for this topic.
For home video?
Well, in general, just how we kind of consume media. So back in the day versus now, especially. Now, people don't even really own anything anymore.
No, it's like no, you're right. It's everything streams these days. So it's almost like we're going back to tuning into the radio.
Yeah.
Or except it's all, on demand. You get to
exactly because
pick what you want to see.
Yeah. The Disney streaming platform, DSP, which is actually known as Disney Plus, just launched this week.
Wow, that was such a fancy name. I only knew it as Disney Plus. What was it again?
The Disney streaming platform.
Oh, okay.
That's what, in our honest opinion, we always called it. The DSP.
Oh, okay.
So instead of Netflix and chill, Anna coined it as DSP and the V.
Oh. See, DSP to me is dynamic signal processing. So
nice.
In the V just adds a whole different dimension to it.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Just saying. But just seeing all the stuff that's on there. I was watching Boy Meets World earlier. I was just marathoning through the beginning of the series. We watched the Robin Hood animated film.
I forgot about that one.
Exactly. We watched a bunch of Pixar shorts, The Mandalorian, and all sorts of this stuff that's just classics.
So you know what interests me is everyone talks about what's available on Disney Plus.
Uh-huh.
I'm more interested in what's not available on Disney Plus because so here's the thing, right?
I think I know where you're going with this.
It's one of those things where things that I'd like to see show up on Disney Plus, okay? Because like I have speaking of home media movies and stuff, like I have some Lazerdiscs of some Disney cartoons.
Yeah.
One that consists of it was Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Mm-hmm.
They were saving up. They wanted to get their Uncle Donald a gift, so they did all this stuff to make this money to buy him a box of cigars.
Yeah.
And Donald Duck's trying to figure out what they're up to, and then he goes and spies on them and sees them sneaking into the cigar shop and come out with a box. So he gets all irate and angry and thinks they're buying the cigars for themselves. He breaks into their treehouse and makes them smoke the entire box.
Yep. Donald's happy birthday.
Yes. Okay. I mean, so I'm curious if stuff like that is on there, and of course, I mean, we're never going to see Song of the South show up on Disney.
I would love to see Song of the South show up on Disney Plus. Oh man, I need to see that. I really do.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't. I know there are ways to see it on the internet. Yes. I haven't seen it yet though. That and the Star Wars Christmas special.
I've heard so much stuff about that Star Wars Christmas special. I kind of want to see it myself.
Yeah,
because I first of all, I thought it was a joke.
Yeah,
but
it's bad.
It's a real thing, but it was still a joke. I guess it was that bad.
It's pretty bad from what I've seen. Dancing Wookiees and stuff. I think that's where they first unveiled like Kashyyyk and the Wookiee homeworld.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That does sound pretty bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that Donald's Happy Birthday is on Disney Plus. There's a lot of stuff.
I mean, my personal favorites as far as the Disney cartoons go is I liked all the goofy how-to stuff.
That's on there.
How to be
an expert fisherman.
Yes, or,
that's on there. The Olympic Games.
Yes. Is the Casey Jones cartoon out there?
Casey Jones from Ninja Turtles?
No, Casey. No, the other one. Remember? You'll remember. Okay, I'm gonna bring up Casey Jones, but I'll bring up another one in a minute. But
okay,
the one where at the end, where the love of his life, they're about to get married, but she's in that big old springy dress and bounces away into oblivion.
Oh, I don't remember if that's on there or not. I do remember that.
Yes,
because he was Casey at bat, right?
No,
was it a baseball player?
Well, that was another cartoon. But this, he was out in West or whatever. He was out West and all this other.
Oh yeah.
And then
I don't remember.
And then the one cartoon that always makes me cry, the opera singing whale.
Yes, that's not on there.
It's not.
No, it's not on there yet, unless it's bundled in with anything.
Okay.
But yeah, they have a bunch of old school stuff from like the 1920s and 30s. Steamboat Willie's the first thing on there.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, they have a whole Lego set.
Yeah.
For that.
The goofy art of skiing. There's a bunch of
So how about this other one? Of course, I'm bringing back like all this obscure,
the car one.
The car one.
That's not on there yet either.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. There's a couple things that I noticed aren't on there. Song of the South, obviously. Star Wars Christmas special, also obviously. The operatic whale.
Mm-hmm.
The car one. I can't remember what it's called. And do you remember the famous Jet Jackson?
Oh yeah,
that's not on there.
How could they leave that out?
I'm not sure, but the actor, Lee Thompson Young, I think was his name.
Oh, okay. That's right.
He died by suicide
Okay.
when he was doing like in the middle of Rizzolian Isle. So I'm not sure if it has to do with that, or if it has to do with because the show is like a Canadian series.
Well, it's funny. I had forgotten that, so I'm glad I didn't say what I was about to say. I really haven't seen him on TV lately.
Yeah, he's not doing a lot of work right now, unfortunately. R.I.P. Silverstone. But yeah, let's get back to just consuming media. You mentioned you had a lot of these, or you have a lot of these currently on Laserdisc.
Yes. So the Laserdisc, it's funny because it's you mentioned Laserdisc in public, and people either look at you like, "What?" or they're like, "That was really a thing," or it's like, "Wow, I can't believe anyone still has those." Well, I guess it's time to go back and give you some history here on home media viewing or whatnot, because everyone knows what the VHS tape is, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the whole Betamax thing, right? So
Explain what the Betamax
okay,
is.
so the Betamax was a competitor to the VHS. The Betamax actually came out first, and was by Sony. It came out in 1975.
Mm-hmm.
JVC came out with the VHS tape in 1976.
Mm-hmm.
They both used magnetic media to show video. They just did it in slightly different ways, and it turned into a format war. JVC ultimately won for several reasons. One being they licensed it to a bunch of people, where Sony thought they were completely BA and wanted to keep it all to themselves. So there were also some other advantages too, like the VHS tape could hold up to like 8 hours of tape, where at its longest the Betamax would hold a whopping 3. So,
Wow, really?
Yeah. So
I remember the tapes being smaller.
Yeah, they were smaller because they kept saying, "Oh, it's way more compact," and all sorts of stuff. So initially, the videotape came out to time shift, really, right? So people could watch a program whenever they wanted to, so they weren't.
Oh, you made that sound epic. Time shift.
Time shift.
Sounds like a Jean-Claude Van Damme 90s movie.
Patent pending. So later on, you were able to get pre-recorded tapes to watch movies, because just home movie viewing in itself was just it was very new then in the late 70s. So a lot of people say the Laserdisc came out in 1978, and people would say that
that come afterwards?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it came before the other ones.
No. It was released in 1978, and the thing is, it wasn't intended to be a competitor to VHS and Betamax. You can't record on a Laserdisc.
No.
Well, not consumer wide, right?
Yeah.
So the Laserdisc was inherently designed to let you watch TV, movies, or pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah.
Now, one of the big advantages is it did have a better resolution, had a better picture. I won't get into all the technicalities with that, but and they were also less expensive at the time.
Yeah.
So in 1980 or 81, and I still have this, it's at our parents' house, Twilight Zone the movie.
Love that movie.
With the price tag on it, Warner Home Video was $59.95.
That is the price of a modern day AAA video game title.
Right. So on Laserdisc, it was maybe $20 or $30, $25, let's say.
Wow.
Because it was less expensive to make, the laser discs. So the picture was better. It had sound. Well, they all had sound, right? But digital sound, per se, CD quality audio. Yeah. And the only downside was you had to, if a movie was long enough, it would span more than one disc, and you did have to do a flip, because
I do remember that. I love the noise.
Yeah, at its longest, it would hold about 60 minutes worth of video per side.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a big VHS collection, but I still have a crate of Laserdisc hanging out. I don't know if it's nostalgia, but I was sick several weeks ago, so I pulled the old player out, and I was just sitting there and watching the movies, and having to flip it every hour forced me to get up and take some medicine or drink something. So it worked out.
Yeah.
But I did notice some things, like, for instance, I watched Star Wars.
Yeah.
On laser.
Oh, because the original, before all the special editions.
Correct.
Han shot first.
That's exactly where I was. Yeah, he did shoot first. And it was weird seeing it, because I got so used to the changes they made, where I was like, oh, there was only 2 stormtroopers standing out on the sand dune?
Yes.
There's no big iguana thing hanging out?
No do-back.
No, I don't know what they're all called.
I got your back, homie.
Yeah, cool. So
I got your do-back.
These are not the droids you're looking for. So so buying movies or just watching movies at home was just very different. Even way before surround sound and all that stuff, it was so new. It was expensive though, but it gave people an opportunity to collect their favorite movies.
Yeah.
Watch movies they wanted, or even one thing that was very popularized because of the sound quality with a Laserdisc was they had Pioneer had a bunch of concert series or whatever, right? So
yeah.
Madonna or
Makes sense.
Whatever you wanted to see, Air Supply if you're into that.
What's funny is I know I'm taking this on a tangent, but a couple years ago there was a show called Regular Show on Cartoon Network. It was about these two friends, Mordecai and Rigby. One was a blue jay, one was a raccoon. And you can tell that the people who did that show were our age because they had a segment where they had the format wars.
Oh, seriously?
Yes. And they had like the embodiment of VHS and like CD and Laserdisc.
That's
was like the
hilarious.
ultimate being because he's like higher fidelity than even VHS and Betamax. And they had a whole episode based on this. I recommend watching that episode.
I'll have to check that out.
Because I actually knew what they were talking about, and I'm just sitting there watching that, and most people probably had no idea.
See, that quote is straight from the demonstration disc too.
Yeah,
and you said it exactly the way they say it. So just to describe it for the buddy listeners out there is so your Laserdisc. Most people think, okay, is it like a DVD or so it's a 12-inch shiny disc that's two-sided. It looks like a huge CD that's dual-sided. So yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, it looks like a big back in the day, CD,
right,
before DVD came out.
Right.
It's like a 12-inch record, but if it were to be turned into a DVD.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the DVD is what finally killed it.
Yeah.
In the late 90s or early 2000s.
I just remember the cool noises that like the machine would make as it was like the laser was kicking on and like you hear everything moving around.
So let me tell you, do you want to know why you heard everything moving around?
Why?
Because that sucker's spinning at, I don't know, I want to say, is it 1800 or 3600 RPM?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, but it's taking this
it's moving
like
quick.
half-pound disc.
Yeah.
Then the laser moves, and then there's your video. But
yeah.
it can look rather violent if you're working on one and you accidentally hit the play button because you can't tell if the thing's spinning.
Yeah.
Because it's big, shiny, silver, and round, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah,
I
I was working on one, and I dropped. I don't know. I dropped a pencil eraser or something, and it skipped right off that sucker. I never found the eraser.
It probably disintegrated as soon as it made contact.
Well, I heard it hit the ceiling behind me.
And then it disintegrated because of the velocity it was moving.
Pretty much. But anywho, yeah. So it was an alternate way to watch movies or to consume media, or it was another format.
Yeah.
So that went, so you go through the 80s, and I remember seeing a Diet Coke ad where if you bought a Diet Coke or something and you took the coupon off the thing, you could buy Top Gun on VHS for $14.95.
That's funny.
Which was really cheap for a movie.
Oh, yeah. I remember, as you were saying earlier, that how expensive VHS tapes. The one I remember is the Superman VHS that we have at our parents' house.
$70.
It was $79.95, I want to say.
Yeah. That's
for a tape.
That's ridiculous. I mean, I can't do the calculation, but I don't even know what that is in today's money.
I don't even know either, but keep talking and I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those things. Wow, I really like that movie. Do I want to spend $300 on it or
exactly?
It is. It's just crazy.
Do you remember what year that it came out?
I don't. I have no idea. You would think I'd know, but I don't.
Man,
was it? I don't know. I have no idea.
1978.
It is 78.
So we'll say the VHS, because that's another thing we'll have to get into is how long it took for stuff to come out on VHS.
Right.
So we'll say 79. We'll say it took a year.
Okay.
For it to come
79,
out.
So 40 years ago. All right. Wait for it, folks. This is going to be mind blowing.
Okay, so purchased 1979.
So you're just going to do $80?
Yeah, I'll just do $80.
$80 from 79 to 2019.
Take a guess as to how much it would cost.
Oh gosh, that's like $230.
$283.58.
Oh my gosh. So here's the thing. Could you imagine if You were the dude who wanted to buy all the Marvel movies at $283.
Bro. Hey, look at me. I have the complete 25 movie James Bond collection. Oh my god.
But I have no car or house because I'm broke.
Exactly. Ugh.
Wow, that is good. Wow, $283.
Let's see, because there's what, 22 Marvel movies now?
Yes.
So
20. Oh, here we go.
22.
What's it, like $4,000? It's got to be.
It's expensive.
That's a lot. Oh my goodness. That's not going to be cheap.
$283. $6,226.
Well, you know what's sad? I can't even say you can buy a small car for that because you
Not
can't
anymore.
get one new.
No.
But so this is why home video rental got popular.
Yeah.
So how many times remember going to Blockbuster Video, and we each got to pick a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, I had this discussion. Like, I enjoyed doing that, but for me, Blockbuster was my hub for gaming.
Do you remember the first game I ever rented from Blockbuster?
No.
RC Pro-Am.
Yes. Now I remember.
But yeah, we were renting movies before that. But
Yeah.
we were, fortunately, Dad was very much he was a techie geek, so we had all the formats. We had the VHS and the Betamax and the Laserdisc. We never had to rent any of the players. So,
Yeah.
So we could basically go there and say, all right, well, we'll just rent whatever's cheaper.
Yeah. And back then, it's like, okay. I remember we didn't go to the theater too much.
Well, no, we didn't. And I don't know if it was just a logistics thing, or I don't know if it was really even a cost thing.
I think I was just so out of tune with stuff as a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, like, there was stuff in the movie theaters and then it comes out on tape later. I didn't even really think about it.
Yeah, I don't think I ever did either.
Yeah.
Until I was, like older or later when I would go with friends and stuff. I mean, there were certain things we saw in the theater, but it was never I think I understood it, but it was just okay.
I didn't really even acknowledge it until I was much later in school. I was like, oh, heck yeah, I'm going to go to movies and do this. But I will never forget, it was my birthday. And he put the movie on, didn't tell me what it was, and we got pizza. And it was the opening establishing shot of New York City.
Oh, is that when you got the Ninja Turtles movie?
Yes.
We did have pizza then. See,
We
I
did.
I remember The Little Mermaid, but that was...
I remember that, but for me, the Ninja Turtles movie, that is what really, it got my attention because I watched that movie so many times.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't wear that. Well, maybe you did wear it out. I don't know, but...
But just everything about that movie, I think that's one of the things that just holds us, because they didn't tell me what it was until I caught on when you see April O'Neil. I was like, holy cow, this is Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
this is amazing,
man. For you folks out there, you have no idea. Okay, this cat and Ninja Turtles, man. Yeah, it's yeah.
But it was the time because he'd buy tapes. Because a lot of times he'd buy the tapes, and then the Disney movies, I remember when like Beauty and the Beast came out, is when he started getting a lot of those Disney classics.
Well, when the Little Mermaid we got, that was the first,
that's right.
And then the whole string out, because that was what did they call it, the new, not new generation, but like the reemergence of
the reemergence of like the Disney Princess classic,
Right.
Disney classic, the Diamond
Right.
collection.
right, that are now worth $4, not $4.
Actually, they're worth a pretty penny. So
What are they saying, like the black labeled ones? Or
yeah,
something?
the diamond, the black
The
diamond.
actual.
Yeah,
Okay, I've never seen one. Have you?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go to Mom and Dad's house.
Oh, they have them there. Oh, okay.
That all of those that he got.
They're the actual black ones.
The black
I'm
diamond
used to the
collection.
blue ones. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can get we have the Little Mermaid with the penis in the
I
castle.
was going to bring that up because
Yeah.
that was a fun Easter egg.
Yeah, and I remember, our dad, he saw it. He's like, "Is this what I think it is?" And he wouldn't show us what it was. I was like, "What is?" I'm sitting there looking at the cover. I was like, "What am I supposed to see here?"
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's all veiny. It's like
Oh yeah, it's super phallic.
Once you see it, you can't.
You can't unsee it.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
So speaking of movies, we're going to get out of home movie for a minute.
Okay.
And go talk about movie theaters here.
Yeah.
What is your earliest memory of a movie theater or what was it like? Because it's obviously not like what it is now.
Oh no, my earliest memory of a movie theater was watching Superman 4 at, I want to say it was at Tampa Bay Center, that mall.
We're not supposed to talk about Superman 4.
Well, I remember I thought it was the best Superman movie at the time because he got to fight another guy who was like on his level, Nuclear Man.
Well, that's true. I'm still trying to figure out how they cut the hair, that was holding up the
Exactly.
1,000 pounds. But that's
exactly.
All right. That could be a whole nother discussion. Okay. So I remember seeing that as well. Obviously, I was there.
Yes.
1987.
Yes.
At Tampa Bay Center.
Yes.
See, I'm going to keep bringing it up.
Yeah.
And it was a whopping two. The theater in the mall had 2 screens.
Was it?
It was.
That's it.
That's it.
Eee.
It was 2 screens. You'd walk in. There was a concession stand. You had popcorn, your drinks, and you went to the right for one, to the left for the other. So like, what do you remember about the seating and things like that?
I remember the floor being gross. I remember the seats being cramped. And I remember our mom bringing in snacks.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
like,
Potted meat and crackers
oh man, yeah, I forgot.
and sandwiches.
Well, one time later on, she brought in Subway, like 4-foot-long subs in that.
Hey, man.
In her TARDIS of a. I'm not even gonna call it a purse. It's a bag. She calls it a bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's so I remember going to the movies, and the floor is slanted. There's not really steps. You had your center aisle, or sometimes you would have the 2 aisles, and it was slanted. And they had these tiny seats with the little. They had, if they worked right, the seat bottom would automatically fold up or whatnot, so your weight would keep it down or whatnot. Yeah. And as a kid, I remember sitting down and then having some adults sit in front of me where I couldn't see anything, but they tried to stagger the seats so you can kind of look in between them.
Yeah.
And
because they didn't have stadium seating back then.
Right. And all the sound would come from in front of you.
Yeah.
And the screen was huge.
Yeah.
But it was nothing like you could really get at home at the time.
Nope.
So, and there was one time you weren't around yet, or you were a baby or whatever it was, but we went and saw Star Trek 3, Search for Spock.
Yeah, I don't believe I was around for that.
And I had to go to the bathroom right at the scene where they found Spock they found the little pod. And
gotcha.
Yeah, so Dad was thrilled. What, you gotta go now?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where we're walking out of the theater and he's like looking over his shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. It's like, hurry up.
See, I remember having a situation like that during Parent Trap, and I just had to keep using the bathroom.
Oh,
I remember that.
But probably one of the most memorable movie-going experiences was it was a very fun evening. So
I'm thinking it's the same movie. Let's see. Go ahead.
It's 1988, and we went out with some family friends and spent the evening at a Showbiz Pizza place.
That I remember.
And then the mom of our friends asked my parents, "Hey, do you want to see that new Eddie Murphy movie?"
Yes.
And then next door was the Plit 4-screen movie
Where
theater.
was this at?
Out in Brandon.
Okay.
It's now a Chuck E. Cheese. There was a Kmart on the other side.
Is that where the Chuck E. Cheese is at? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't realize
that Chuck E. Cheese was the Showbiz, but next door it's like a Leslie's Pool Supply now.
Gotcha.
So we went next door, and the movie we saw was Coming to America.
Fantastic film.
All the children was on one side of the row.
Yeah.
And the parents were on the other side.
Yeah.
So I think you and I were all the way at the end.
Yes.
The bath scene, no one was there to cover our eyes.
Yes.
The royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
Seeing those nipples in their full glory, not understanding what's happening, but enjoying it.
I think at that time the funniest thing I thought was the McDowells.
Oh yeah.
It's a funny looking McDonald's.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So many of those jokes are over my head.
Yeah.
But I still love the movie.
Oh, the movie's great.
Yeah.
The movie's great. So it's one of those things where you go to the movie theater and you end up if they did it right, you're engrossed in the actual movie to where maybe it's because we didn't know any better, but there weren't many explosions in that film or anything. So and it's not like we were sitting there saying, if the sound was just a little bit less centered, it would be a lot more dynamic. No, it was nothing like that. You just went there to enjoy the movie.
Exactly.
So fast forward to now in the movie going experience. I mean, my kids ask me, what were movie theaters like when you were a kid? And I was like, well, they weren't like this. I mean,
No.
First of all, I mean, there's been times I've been in a movie theater where I think I hear someone behind me, but I'm in the last row.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, they have no less than 23 speakers in the joint.
Oh, yeah. If you go to a Dolby
Atmos theater, it's ridiculous.
D-box when your seat is shaking.
So do you think they went through all that because the home video experience got so much better with the advent of better sound and better video?
I think so. I think a lot of everything now is about immersion.
Right.
They want you to just be completely and totally immersed in what you're watching. So when you have this whole setup that you can't quite get at home, it makes you want to go out there and see it. How many people do you see? It's like, oh man, I need to see this movie, but I need to see it in 3D.
Right.
I don't care for 3D personally.
I don't either. Well, to that point, it's also things like the new Mr. Rogers movies coming out.
Yeah.
And I had said, I want to see it in the theater.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, we want to see the new movie in the theater.
Yeah.
That's just because that's what you did.
That's the only place to see it at the time.
Well, plus it would also take forever for it to come out on home video.
Exactly. So like now, I only want to see as you all know, I'm a big fan of the Marvel films. And
is that like Batman? No, I'm joking.
Terrible. Terrible. And I want to see them because the thing that's rampant now is spoilers.
Yes.
I need to see that early so I don't have to worry about spoilers and I can kind of get it out of the way, because with the advent of the internet, things are just out there immediately, especially social media. People will be putting spoilers out there immediately. I think when Endgame came out, I knew some people who put the ending on the internet.
You know what?
And they hit it so you don't know what you're watching until it's too late.
So they clickbait you and then...
Exactly.
So there's that like getting rickrolled, but
yeah,
you're getting...
And people will be up in arms because it was such a huge movie. Or before, I don't remember any movie being like, this is so big, there's gag orders on stuff.
I think the worst offense you could do with anything TV related was to give away who won the Super Bowl to somebody who hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's on them.
Yeah. But now it's when we'll talk about Endgame again. That came out, theaters were playing it on a 24-hour cycle.
Were they really?
Yes.
So you mean I could go see Endgame at 3 a.m?
Yes.
Man, I
when
missed
it
out on
first
that.
came out. And I remember Adam, in our honest opinion, he wanted to go just to be at the movie theater at 3, 4 in the morning because that's the time you typically aren't there.
So you want to know how I saw Endgame?
How'd you see Endgame?
So I went and amped it up one more notch.
Okay.
I went and saw it at Cine Bistro.
Ooh, so you got your dinner and...
Yeah, but it sounds really cool, and I'd been to Cine Bistro before.
Yeah.
But I was so immersed in the movie, and it was so dark in there. I mean, I thought I was, it's like I lost track of my hamburger and my cheesecake.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, that's not the cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
But there were two dudes in front enjoying their champagne. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah. And that's another thing. So I have been to Cine Bistro once when I saw Ready Player One. It's a cool idea, but not for me. I don't really enjoy it because when I'm watching the movie, I don't want to be focusing on eating a dinner.
No, I totally agree. That's why I don't think I'd ever do that again for something like that. But the one thing I do enjoy about Cine Bistro is after a certain time, it's only adults.
I think the AMC Veterans is the same thing now.
Oh, did they do that? Did they do that now?
Like certain movies, after a certain time, they don't have any children that are allowed in that movie.
I guess I just don't go to movies that often right
don't?
now. Well, my kids are getting old enough now where they want to go all the time, but I mean, we could talk about how much it costs.
Funny you say that because continuing with the whole media consumption is I have A-list.
Oh, see, I don't.
So I get 3 movies a week.
That will cost me like $800.
Yeah, $21 a month. I go and each week I can see 3 movies, so I can see 12 movies a month.
That's actually worth it. Do you get like a free drink voucher or something?
Well, if it goes into your reward points.
Oh.
And they have special deals.
I may have to do that.
So I go to what, $21 a month? I'll ask Anna, hey, anything you want to see? Yeah, let's go ahead and see this. So we've seen so many more movies now.
Right.
Because it's A-list. I don't have to care.
$21 won't even get 2 people in the movie theater for a standard evening
Not
viewing.
anymore. Not anymore. You'd have to go on a Tuesday with like the AT&T Tuesdays where like movies are $5.
And at like 11 in the morning?
Yeah. Well, all day on Tuesday. Matinee prices aren't even cheap anymore.
Well, there's a pre-matinee.
What's the point?
Yeah, well, so I thought it was just matinee and then your evening stuff, right? No, but there's like before matinee, then there's matinee, and then there's afternoon, and then there's evening.
Yeah, see, before I always thought it was matinee and then evening. Isn't that how it used to be?
Right. So I guess, they need people to pay for all those speakers and all that stuff. And what's crazy is now is you can't just easily put not that you don't pre-plan things when you're doing zoning and when you're doing stuff in neighborhoods, but you really can't throw up a 2-screen movie theater and expect to get that much stuff.
Oh no.
So when they opened up that AMC 20 over by us, it was like, does it really have 20 screens?
Even 24?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's 24.
The 20 is the other one out in Brandon.
Exactly.
Okay, so so when they opened up the AMC 24, it's like, is it really 24 screens?
24 screens.
And they said, and it's all stadium seating. The first time I walked in one, I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. It's like, this is amazing. What in the world? So, it was, you can either go to Regal Cinema at the mall.
Yep.
Or you can go to the AMC. I prefer AMC personally.
Yeah, I like the AMC ones better.
And then now, not only is it stadium seating, but you have the plush, reclining chairs.
They recline. I'm such a movie theater snob now.
I mean, with this option, it's hard to not be.
Well, I went to the AMC 14 up here at the other mall up here at West Shore.
Yeah.
And I was bent, man. They didn't have the reclining seats.
What's funny is, if you go to the 3D viewings now, those seats aren't the reclining. It's the stadium seating, but you're packed in there like sardines.
Really?
Yeah, they don't have the reclining seats because there's so many seats in there. But go to the Dolby, you'll get your reclining seats.
So it's funny how... So people would talk about the different... Oh, did you see it in the Dolby Theater, or did you see it with this? And I'm like, I really haven't paid attention to what it is. So I really couldn't tell you if I saw it in a Dolby Theater or not. Which is really odd considering how techie I can get. But it's just one of those things. I'm not at movies enough to where I consume it at that level where I want to see it this specific way.
Yeah.
To me, I go to movie theater, this is what I expect. Reclining seat, surround sound.
Yeah.
Popcorn.
Yeah. And that's it.
That's pretty much it. So it's like, it's like I don't care if it's 16.3 channel or 7.8 or, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's reclining seat, surround sound.
Check.
Big screen.
Check.
Popcorn.
Check.
Oh, and a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bucket o beverage.
Exactly. Your $80 soda and $40 thing of popcorn.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, if you're in the black seats, that's generally Dolby. If you're in the red seats, that's normal.
Wait. Back up. Black seats?
Yeah. The black reclining seats are Dolby.
I have never seen black reclining seats.
You haven't been to the Dolby.
So I may end up purposely choosing Dolby then if I ever have that experience to where it.
Yeah. So what you'll in the AMC, you'll be in the black reclining seats. They're a little narrower than the red ones.
Oh, like you're at Regal Cinema?
Not that narrow. And you'll see some speakers on the ceiling.
Okay, because it's a Dolby Atmos.
Yes. And the only reason I know this is because I have A-list, and that's included. So I can go to 3D,
really?
IMAX, A-list, Dolby, all that with A-list. It doesn't cost
So does the
any difference.
Dolby cost more than the regular?
Yes.
That is why I've never seen the Dolby Theater.
Yes.
I have, family of 4.
Yeah.
I get cheap with that stuff.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It was just me and a live studio audience, and that's where we're like, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and take the plunge and get A-list.
Maybe so that Ford versus Ferrari. Maybe I need to go see that in a Dolby Theater.
That would be really awesome, probably in Dolby.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers not so much.
I mean, you need that in IMAX.
Yeah.
As he's throwing the shoe to the other hand, you need to see that in the most fidelity. Highest quality
I was thinking
ever.
of the trolley, but that's
Oh,
okay.
I just imagine that the trolley be coming right at you.
Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
you make it sound like a Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
because like thinking back to how the last movie I remember going to with like the entire family was when we saw Terminator 2.
Okay, that all in itself was just epic,
Yeah.
and I'm glad I got to say that we saw that in the theater.
Yes.
Because I've seen it on so many different surround systems and whatever and whatnot, and I don't know if they've ever re-released it in the theater. They probably have.
They have.
But in my opinion, that's one of those movies that were so immersive. I think there's something to be said about getting to see it on a big screen like that.
Oh yeah.
You cannot recreate that in your living room
No, definitely not.
at all.
It was just something about like seeing that on the big screen like that action movies like Bad Boys and everything. But just going to the theater, getting the big old tub of popcorn and everything, it's just something about that's a very fond memory. Where now it's so different because you can get alcohol now.
Well, do you want to know why it's so different?
Why?
Because number one, you're paying for it.
That's true. That's very true.
But yeah, the whole alcohol in the theater was really strange.
That was very interesting. That and I can order my food from the app and have it, and I can just go and pick it up.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Okay, so I look like the old guy at the movie theater last time I went because I ordered a bag of popcorn and a drink. So they hand me the popcorn and an empty cup.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking at them like,
what the heck?
Where's my drink? And then they point to the freestyle machines and the icy thing. And I looked over and I was like, oh, you get it yourself now?
Yeah.
And she's looking at me like, yeah, we've been doing it that way for a while.
A long time.
Yeah. So, but that was excellent. So it's like, you fill it up, you take like 2 gulps, like you're getting away with something, and you go and fill it up again, and then you put the lid on. Yeah.
Now, the movie's what time? 2:00? All right, on a schedule, this pickup for about 1:50. I'm not even there yet. This is all from my phone at home. So I go drive to the theater. I was like, oh, man, what do I want? I'm going to get the chicken and waffles today. And then maybe a thing of...
And this is a regular theater?
Yes.
What the hell am I going to Cine Bistro for? Oh, yeah, that's right. There's no teenagers.
I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling the chicken and waffles. I'm going to go ahead and get the barbecue chicken flatbread pizza. I'm going to get that instead. I'll pick that up. Oh, and I have a thing for a drink. It's, birthday month. Let me go ahead and get a free drink. Go ahead and do that. Walk up, look for my name on the thing, pick it up. All right, going to the theater. All right, Anna's going to go ahead and get her beer. See you in there.
I've never had chicken and waffles.
What?
No, I've never had chicken and waffles. I've had chicken. I've had waffles.
Oh, dude.
But so maybe I should have chicken and waffles at the movie theater when I'm sitting in the black seats getting my own drink.
No, I'm going to have to make you chicken and waffles at some point.
Yes.
And I will do it properly for you.
Okay.
Because...
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Man. Forget that noise. I can't believe you never had
I've
that.
never had... I don't know. Maybe
I will make chawaffles for you.
What?
Chawaffles is a good friend of mine before, John. He came up with this creation, him and Keith Jones, where you cook the chicken first. Well, some of it, you shred it, and then you put it in a waffle batter. So every bite has chicken in it.
So it's literally a chicken waffle.
Yes.
That sounds amazing.
It is. Okay, you're picturing how good it is?
Yes.
It's like 3 times as better than that.
Okay, I think we have a new episode. We're going to talk about combining foods.
I know, right?
Because I could talk about food, too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
definitely. But the whole movie theater experience now, okay, so you have a family.
Yes.
Just walk us through like how it was then and how it is now. Because when we were kids versus your own kids going to the theater.
Okay, so this is going to be great. So as a kid, I remember it's like, okay, so you drive to the movie theater, you get out. The walk didn't seem that long to get to the actual building.
Yeah.
You go to the box office. You say you want 4 tickets.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, an actual box office. An actual, you talk to a person.
Behind the glass?
Behind the glass. You get your 4 tickets. We were a family 4 also. And then this is usually what would happen. One of the parents would figure out what everyone wanted. They'd go order at the concession stand, and the other parent would take the kids to the seats. There were no assigned seats.
No.
You had to go and find it. So you damn well better get there early.
Yeah.
Or else, you could potentially end up separated, or you got to beg someone to move over one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to fast forward to today. It's like, okay, well, you gotta get everyone to agree on a movie. Everyone's got their own opinion at this point, right? Well, let me check the internet for movie times.
Yeah. Instead
of the newspaper. There were sometimes we went to the movies blindly just to see what was at the box office.
Yeah.
So one big difference is you got to choose between an average 12 to 14 different movies, where before it was like 4.
Yeah.
So, or 8 if you went to the big theater here in town at the time.
Yeah,
the Hillsborough 8. Yep.
Which is now a Ford dealership?
It's a Buick GMC place.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they do have a movie area.
Oh,
inside.
fancy.
I've been there. There's a picture. Anyway,
nice.
So usually what happens is there is a box office or a box lobby or whatever you want to call it, but there's usually no one in there. So you walk up to one of the machines.
Yeah.
Swipe
the
kiosk and go pick your stuff, and you pay for a credit card, and it usually spits out all your tickets out onto the floor and everything else along with your receipt.
Yeah.
So you pick it up, and the kids are already asking you for all sorts of stuff. So, now that you spent your $68 for a family of 4 just to get into the movie theater, after you choose your seats.
Yeah.
So there's no pressure in that anymore.
Yeah.
So then there's the whole concessions thing. So it's like, oh, could I? It's not just popcorn and soda, or now it's like, do you want? Well, I guess they might have done hot dogs before, but now it's like nachos, beef nachos, pizza, cheese pizza, chicken and waffles, obviously, and all sorts of stuff. So you go there, and that's like another. I dropped $80 once. At the concession.
Oh my God.
But this was after I watched the guy in front of me drop $240.
Wow.
Yeah. So now you're, I'm like $100 plus in the hole. And then you go and truck on over to the theater.
Yeah.
So now you walk to the theater. Usually they tell you, oh, it's on the second floor and whatever, because instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 1 through 20. So, you find a theater. You go in and you make the very important decision. Do we turn left or do we turn right at the trash can?
Yeah.
So you go up the thing, and then now it's like you got to climb not Mount St. Helens, but
Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, there you go. Step after step after step after step after step, because of course the kids want to sit all the way at the top.
That's me.
I do too.
Yeah.
So you get all the way up at the top, and then usually one of two things happens. This is an and/or situation.
Mm-hmm.
Someone dumps a bag of popcorn all over the floor.
Yeah.
And someone has to go to the bathroom right when we get to the top.
Oh, of course.
But once you get situated, one of the parents just goes. So then you finally sit down, and then you're waiting, whatever time for all the previews to finish.
Yeah.
And then you have your previews.
With Maria Menounos.
Yes. And then you have the actual movie. So it's always funny because my wife picks on me because I'm still old school where I want to get there early.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Even though it's assigned seating, I want to be able to pick my seats first.
So amongst your group?
Right. So I'm like, I'm the one who's going to be there see, I'm a perfect airport traveler.
Yeah.
Because I'm there 2 hours early.
Yeah.
So movie theater, I am there 30 minutes before the actual time. Like they say, movie starts at 3:15.
Yeah.
It's like If we are not there at 2:45, I am irate.
That was me before.
So I still do it old school compared to what you. I mean, it's like it sounds like you order all your stuff pre-done. The Uber shows
I'll walk
up,
you through mine.
know, and picks you. Okay, yeah.
I will walk you through mine. You ready?
All right.
All right. So let's see. A movie's coming out. It's about 2 months prior. I get the alert on my AMC app. This movie's tickets are available. I'll talk to Anna. All right, you ready? You gonna get this? Yeah. What time you want to go? We'll go Saturday at 2:30. Which seat you getting? L8. All right, I'll go at L7. Book the tickets. Wait those 2 months. Day of the showing. All right, we're about 30 minutes out from the theater. All right, we'll get there. Movie starts, 2:30? All right, we'll leave here at 2:15. Get there. I already ordered the food like beforehand, so I just had to pick it up. Oh, we don't even go to the kiosk. I pull up the barcode on my watch.
So do I look more like a Triceratops or a Tyrannosaurus Rex? Because I'm obviously the dinosaur out of the two of us.
Yeah, I scan my watch. I don't even take my phone or wallet out. I scan my watch. They say to the left because I'm going to the Dolby one. She gets her beer. I get my drink. Or whatever food I want. Sometimes chicken tenders. Go up to the top. Trailers are halfway through. I don't care. You know why? Because on the AMC app, you can watch trailers on their phone, or I've already seen them beforehand on YouTube.
Wow.
As soon as the movie ends, we're not done yet. I pull up the internet, check to see what's after the credits, if there's anything. If there is anything, we stay and watch. If there's not, we go ahead and leave. That's it.
There's only 4 years difference between us. No one told me about no app.
I'm like 4 parallel dimensions ahead of you, man.
It's wait. So 2 months in advance?
Yeah, I got my tickets already. Like when Spider-Man came out, we had those way in advance.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that I was one to sit there and wait on the internet to try to buy my tickets early.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I did that. I usually let other people do that.
Yeah.
And you pre-bought your food?
Yeah.
See, this is why I'm at home watching Laserdiscs, okay?
Yeah.
This is why.
Oh, and get this, okay? On the app, you can look at this. There's a thing for details. Tells you the best times to pee, so you don't miss anything good.
What? Drop the mic. See, I like to risk it, you know. I like to sit there and
roll the dice.
I like to sit there and drink my bucket o' beverage and then see, roll the dice and find out when the bladder says no more.
Yeah. Yeah. The movie, the whole experience at the movie theaters is so different now. Because before, I remember we saw, what was it, Home Alone 2?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was the AMC, 4?
No, it was the Horizon Park 4.
Horizon Park 4.
Which is now a mattress store.
Yes. And we went there. It's like, oh, man, this theater feels small. Yeah, that theater was super tiny. It's way smaller than the smallest AMC theater now.
Okay, I'll put it this way. The concession area was probably as big as the box office at the AMC 24.
Yeah. I'd say that's pretty accurate.
Well, you had to kind of sidestep if it was a busy night.
Yeah. Now it's just crazy. Because before I was like you, I'd have to get there an hour, maybe 2 hours early because I wanted to get a good seat. Now with the reserved seats, man, my life has changed. It has changed. I don't have to sit there and watch Maria Menounos.
See, and I work in IT.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's the thing. I just don't feel like dealing with it.
Oh, and here's the thing.
Oh, here we
go. You can also, if you have kids, if they have their phones, they have interactive games with ARG.
See, this is what I was the most excited about when it came to my kids in the movie theater.
Yeah.
They had booster seats.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's a shallow victory.
I mean, you take what you can get, man. You take what you can get. Whatever you can do.
So do you think that the movie studios they try to to me from my perspective it seemed like at one point in time the movie theaters were catering towards the movies coming out, right? Do you think that it's kind of reversed now because all the technology that's in the movie theaters, these movie houses basically say, oh, okay, well, we can add more explosions and do all sorts of stuff because it'll just make it that much more immersive for the viewer? Because it almost seems like they kind of, hurdle each other.
I think the movie theaters are trying to keep up with what the studios are doing.
Okay.
So I think theaters,
so it's Michael Bay's fault.
Him, James Cameron. No joke. James Cameron, when he did Avatar,
yeah,
a lot of people were like, "Well, we got to get in on this." Michael Bay with the explosions, all that, the whole immersion factor, because now it's like the darker screens where it has a whole. Yes, the screen is still on. We have like the deeper blacks, or
black or
colors.
blacks.
Yeah. It's like it's the you version versus the me version would considers darkness.
Yes, for the listeners out there, we are actually different
shades.
Different shades.
Yeah,
but not gray.
Exactly. We're two shades of black.
Two shades of black.
And I think a lot of theaters are just playing up the whole immersion factor. They want you to get in there. They want you to be comfortable. They want you to spend more money. That's why I think the whole alcohol thing came into play.
Well, yeah, they had to get more people to go in there because wasn't there, recession hit.
Well, MoviePass started changing things. So with MoviePass came out, they had, I think when it initially came out, it was like $50 and you can go and see unlimited movies, one per day. And then they're like, you know what? We're going to drop the price. I think it was, $10 a month? Something ridiculous. And you just go in and they send you a credit card. You use that credit card. Boom. You get in MoviePass. Then that fell apart. All sorts of things happened. And then AMC's like, you know what? Well, MoviePass they're hoping to get more cuts of revenue from food sales, drink sales, and stuff like that.
Okay.
AMC is like, no, we're not playing ball with you guys. You know what? In fact, we're going to come out with our own called A-List.
Oh, that's what happened.
Yeah, because MoviePass was annoying because you had to be within 100 yards of the theater, check in, that'll activate the card. You go ahead and use the card, so MoviePass gets charged, and then it's really weird. Now they're defunct. They finally went under.
Well, it was a moneymaker for them. That's they were looking at it from a business perspective as opposed to the.
But now we have A-List, and because of A-List, I'm seeing more movies than I ever thought I would. A lot of movies, because I would have to be very particular with what I saw because it's expensive.
Oh yeah.
I'll be like, well, it's funny. We'll see the trailers. A trailer will come on. Ann and I will look at each other. We'll be like, yeah, we'll go ahead and check that out. Or, nah, that's so good. That's not that great. Or we'll just say, we have A-List.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's rated based on your membership.
Exactly. But now A-List has something called Entourage. So I have Anna as part of my Entourage. I can book the movies for me and her using both of our A-lists.
Oh, see, I thought maybe if you click the Entourage option, they would get 15 people to walk in with you.
That would be even better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, the whole movie. Yeah, I know we said we were going to talk about consuming other media, so that's going to have to be on another episode because then we had to get into the whole home viewing and all that. There's a bunch of other stuff I want to get into.
Okay.
With that.
Cool.
But we're at about an hour.
Are we really?
Yes, we are.
I feel like I just got started.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to continue on. But for you guys, you're going to hear the second part of this next week. Thank you again for joining us.
Oh, thanks
Mike.
for having me. It's always nice to be a brother buddy.
Exactly. And thank you all again for listening. Remember, you can find us on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, whatever you want to call it. All sorts of streaming places for your streaming enjoyment. Again, if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to leave those on the respective platforms. We're on YouTube, or you can email us at buddytalkspod@gmail.com. If you can't remember where we're at, go to buddytalkspodcast.com. All the links are there. Again, Mike, thank you. Thanks, everyone, and have a fantastic week. See y'all later.